Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 1149 Northeast 175th Avenue here in Portland. We are located on the, I would call this the right side of the house here. There's the driveway. Just around this corner, you've got a big 4-inch cast iron cleanout as the point of access. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is currently running, and we're going to zero the foot counter out here at the base of the cleanout. All right, off we go here. And I've got a little bit different, I've got a much smaller monitor screen than I normally use today. I'm probably going to do a little bit of reviewing of this at home, just with a larger screen. So it's, just be aware, it's possible there may be something on the report that I don't talk about on video here today. So we just swapped over to concrete there just a moment ago, 6-inch concrete from the cast iron. We had some junk stuck to the transition joint. You got a pretty good separation at that joint right there. Once concrete joints separate to a certain extent, they start opening to the ground. You got past a few joints here that look like they're allowing moisture to seep through. However, you know, when it's more concerning is when I see joints like that and you get settling associated with it. That's the bigger concern. You can have a lot of these joints that are, you know, semi-compromised, technically speaking compromised, but often don't amount to much. A lot of it depends on what the pipe's bedded in. If the pipe's bedded in a bunch of gravel, sometimes you can get joints that are compromised, and it really never leads to settling because the groundwater around the pipe mostly just flows through the gravel it's bedded in. And the other big plus you have out here in this part of town is once you hit the curb, the city's responsible for the rest of the line. And it looks like we're doing a vertical drop here into the top of the main. You should see that here in just, yep, there it is right there. We're gonna let the water drain out of the line here. I'm gonna back the camera out to the point right before the drop. Once you go down that vertical, even if I turn the water off, you really can't ever see anything until the line is absolutely bone dry. Every water droplet just dangles right on the end of the camera. Alright, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates out on 175th. The line basically does a straight shot out the right side of the house here, out to the side street. It does not go out to the street the driveway connects to. It goes to the other one. In total here, we're about 60 feet to the main. Anyway, we're going to start pulling back in here. We do have some standing water out here toward the end of the line. We'll see if the homeowners are running water too here. No, you just got a belly there, and that's in city responsibility. You can tell them about it all you want. That's not the kind of thing the city will fix. And usually you're only going after stuff that is really significant, that's causing major problems. Now, what I can see in the line here, there are a fair amount of wipes that we've gone past. And that is something you really, really do not want to put down older sewer lines. You don't want to put them down newer lines either, but these older lines like this, cast iron and concrete both, have a rougher texture to them. They're not terribly forgiving to stuff like that. So if I start seeing much more of that in the line here, I may recommend some cleaning. Where the ones are at there toward the end of the line, very, very low risk for causing a blockage. You need a reasonable amount of them to lead to a problem. But when you start getting that far out, you need quite a blockage to... Yeah, so that joint's got some separation, but when I look around the top of the pipe though, I'm not seeing staining. You know, these joints fit within each other, so you can have some movement out them without them opening up to the ground. And I'm not seeing major staining there at all. And then all that stringy stuff at the top of the pipe there are cobwebs. And that too there also cobwebs. And this is what caught my eye when we first went through here, was these things. Anyway, those, looks like you've got a couple wipes that got caught on the joint there. Now, it wouldn't hurt to clean the line. There's not massive amounts of them. I'm going to recommend cleaning, mostly to remove those ones. I mean, realistically, these things may break loose on their own at some point, but you've got some caught here and then some caught immediately as you drop in. You can see the junk built up on the flow line there. So I'm going to recommend cleaning. It is not a severe situation, but it would be worthwhile. And you've got some more caught back. You know, actually, no, this is worthwhile to clean. You've got enough of them throughout the line here. I'd like to see those gone. We just went past about 9 different wipes caught in the line. So as the line sits, it is still functioning. And grade-wise, you have good slope and grade all the way out till just prior to the drop into the main, and that's way out in the street at that point. On property, line has good flow. And I would rescope this line about every 2 to 3 years to monitor the condition. It's an older sewer line. It is showing its age, but it still has good functionality as it sits right now. It's not at a point where, at least in my opinion, it requires updating. But it's probably something you're going to want to be looking into probably within the next 5 to 7 years. But rescope periodically. Sometimes these lines surprise you and they can go much longer. You just want to, you know, like some of the pipe joints, concrete joints especially, those are the first things that start wearing out. And if you start seeing any settling associated with those joints, like you did further out in the street, if you start seeing any of that stuff on property, that's where you want to start looking into the prospect of an epoxy liner. And or an update. The liner is a trenchless repair system, and they generally save quite a lot of money, so it's worth rescoping periodically every 2 or 3 years to monitor things. And when you start seeing those joints become compromised to the point where they're leading to settling issues, that's where you want to look into doing a liner. You can save money, avoid digging, and get the line bolstered up so no further settling takes place. And none of that stuff happens overnight. It all takes time. Anyway, as the line sits here today, line is functioning at this time. It will have better, proper functionality after cleaning to remove the wipes, and then make sure you do not continue to put those things down the line. Whether they say flushable or not, do not put them down cast iron or concrete. They will build up, and when you get blockages made out of wipes and cast iron or concrete, it blocks really good. If you decide to do any cleaning on the line, make sure a rescope is done just to check the work.